Hello and welcome dear students. Today in this session we will discuss about types of diagrams. As you can see, there are various types of diagrams. First, pictogram. Second, scatter diagram. Third, line diagram, which is based on time periods. Fourth, circle diagram. Fifth, bar diagram. And sixth, that is pie diagram. First of all, we will discuss about time-based line diagram, which is also known as a curve. These are pictures which show the shape or slope of relationship between two variables in economics. For example, demand curve or supply curve, etc. We have already seen that a demand curve has a negative slope and it represents an inverse relationship between price and demand. Similarly, a supply curve has a positive slope which moves in an upward direction. It represents that there is a positive or direct relationship between price and supply. That means as price rises, supply also rises, and as price falls, supply falls. As we have studied earlier also, the independent variables are represented on x-axis and the dependent variables are represented on y-axis. Also, to show time-based self-explanatory trends of a variable, time-based line diagrams are drawn. Say for example, the size of population for various years, similarly inflation rate in various years in India, or maybe the literacy rate in various years in India can be represented by using time-based line diagram. Bar diagram. A bar diagram shows distribution of the value of a variable and its various components on a common base. Base means it may be time, region or place. It means that when a variable or the various components of variable which are spread over various regions or years are shown by means of preparing bars, then a bar diagram is obtained. Nowadays, due to use of computers, vertical or horizontal bars can be drawn. For each section or time period, a separate bar is drawn such that the height or the length of the bar is proportional to the value of the variable. Means that the tallest bar will be drawn to represent the data with highest value and the smallest bar will represent the data with lowest value. A bar diagram is of following three types. First, simple bar diagram. It is used to represent when only one variable is there and it is to be represented on a common base, that is again time, region or place. Second one, that is a clustered bar diagram. It is also known as grouped bar diagram. Cluster means a group. So here it is a group of bar diagram. When there are more than one section of related parameters on a common base, then a group of bar or cluster of more than one bar is obtained over various base values. Last one, that is a divided bar diagram. This type of diagram is drawn when every single value of the variable over a common base has subcategories. See, in clustered bar diagram, it was having more than one section, but here this has various subcategories. Now, Aspects to be considered while drawing a bar diagram. What points are to be kept in mind when we are drawing a bar diagram? So first point is that all bars should be of equal width. Usually the width of the bar does not represent any data, and therefore all bars should be of equal width. Second point, that is, the length of the respective bars should be proportional to the value of the variable which they represent. So just what we have discussed earlier also, that means the data with the highest value will have the tallest bar, and the data with the smallest value will have the smallest bar. Similarly, third point is the distance between all bars should be equal. That means all the bars or the gap between two bars should be same. And not only this, it should be maintained between the very first bar and the origin also. Whatever gap is being left between the origin and the first bar, that same amount of gap should be left between all the other bars. Next point, that is, all the bars are usually coinciding with the x-axis. From all the definitions or meaning of the bar diagram or types of bar diagram, we have seen that they are generally on a common base value. So it means that all the bars should be on a common base, and generally the base is your x-axis. Therefore it is said that all the bars should coincide or they should rest on the x-axis. However, as told earlier, that in today's time, with the help of computer, horizontal bars are also being drawn instead of the vertical bars. Last point, that is, all the vertical bars should be arranged from left to right in order of the data series. That means the bar should represent the first data. First bar should represent the first value of the variable, and similarly the last bar should represent the last value in the variable, and this should go from left to right. Pie diagram. A pie diagram is a representation of a circle in degrees. When an entire data and the different components of this data are represented by dividing the circle in degrees proportional to the data, then a pie diagram is obtained. It means that when a circle is divided into various degrees on the basis of data such that the highest value will be represented by highest degree and the lowest value will be represented by the lowest degree, then such a division of circle is a pie diagram. A pie diagram is drawn for a similar kind of data for which even a bar diagram can be drawn. Formula for obtaining proportional degree for component of data: degree is equals to component value upon total value into 360 degree. Now, what are the aspects that are to be considered while drawing a pie diagram? First of all, as we all know that 360 degrees make a circle. That means the total degree measurement of a pie diagram will be equal to 360. Second point states that degrees for subdivisions are calculated. That means when a data itself has certain components, or when data is having certain sections, therefore degrees for all these sections or divisions are to be calculated, and while calculating the degrees, it should be noted that the sum total of all these degrees must be equal to 360. When relevant data is to be compared across regions or time periods, that means when two data is to be compared, then for both the kinds of data, two different pie graphs are to be drawn side by side. When data from that, the data with a smaller total value will have a circle with a small dimension, and thereof the data with larger value will have a circle with bigger dimension. Next comes the types of graphs. Just like types of diagrams, there are various types of graphs. Mainly, there are three types of graphs. First one, that is a time series graph. Second one, that is graph for continuous frequency distribution. Again, these may be a histogram, maybe a frequency polygon, frequency curve, or cumulative frequency polygon. And the last type of graph is a logarithmic graph. Time series graph. The graph wherein the trends of changes in economic activities are taken as variable. Variable itself means those values which keep on changing. Therefore, the graphs which are drawn by taking the trends of these changes as variable and time period as a base. Now see here, the base is compulsory a time period. Why? Because it is a time series graph. Therefore, when time period is considered as a base and the changes in economic activities are considered as variable and the graph which is drawn, then such a graph is called a time series graph. However, as the syllabus does not include the other kind of graph, we are not going to discuss them over here. In the next topic, we shall study about use of technology in study of economics.